Jeffrey, we've talked a lot about the details of what it would mean for capital markets if something like this moved forward. What do you think it means for the trade situation between the U.S. and China?
It would be another irritant in the relationship. I think, we have a number of these already with Hong Kong and Taiwan, a number of other issues. So it would add to that list. I think it adds to the decoupling narrative on both sides of the Pacific, and certainly just another obstacle to a long-term deal between these two sides.
The timing is a little curious because we had gotten reports lately that the talks were on track and moving forward and so forth. Obviously, they can't control the release of this information. It was reporters who found this had been in the works. But do you expect this to now be an important part of the bargaining process or not?
I think it could become part of the talks. I think, it's difficult to know if this reporting is accurate and the motivations of people that are putting this out there. But I think certainly when the Chinese vice premier is here in Washington in a few weeks, it will certainly be on his mind as given the impacts on the Chinese economy. So, yeah, I think it will be one of a long line of things that they need to discuss at these trade talks, certainly.
When you say you question the motivations potentially of the people who put this out there, I mean, presumably the people who know about this are within the administration. Is there some implications that you think that someone in the administration wants to sort of derail talks or put out a stumbling block?
Yeah, there are camps within the administration that are more and less interested in, repairing or improving relations with China. So, yeah, I think there are certainly people within the White House who are focused on making sure that the president doesn't cede to what they see as his short-term political interests with respect to farmers and agricultural prices. So, and want to keep the focus more on the long-term, what they see as the long-term strategic conflict between the U.S. and China. So, yeah, the White House is not monolithic in that regard.
Jeffrey, do you think the impeachment headlines this week are going to cause the president to want to find ways to distract from it? Does it embolden him, make him more defensive in these talks? How do you think that has affects things, if it does at all?
Yeah, I think our view is that the effect is relatively marginal, but to the extent that it does have an effect, it probably makes the president a little bit more cautious about escalating with the Chinese. We have these tariff hikes coming October 15th and December 15th, and probably makes him a little bit more interested in what we've called a mini deal, which is sort of a short-term agreement with the Chinese buying more agricultural products from the U.S., the U.S. perhaps providing some tariff delays as well as maybe some relief for Huawei licenses. So I think it feeds into the desire for that deal, but really only in a way that reinforces existing trends. We saw Trump on the road to that deal before the impeachment process started, and this probably pushes him further.
What do you think the impact is on Democrats running for president?
Probably not a whole lot. I think the story certainly hurts Biden. It puts the business dealings of his son and of his broader family really back in the press's spotlight. So that's a negative for Biden. But beyond that, I think for Democrats, at least the ones running for president, and some of them have dual roles in this story, but the ones running for president, I think, want to keep the focus on issues like healthcare and climate change, where Democrats have big polling advantages over President Trump, and I think that's safer ground for them. They'll leave impeachment for the most part in Congress.